Good evening, everybody. Um, Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. For this session, roughly more than 90 people, roughly 100 people have been registered. And I hope and strongly believe that they will have an opportunity to join online in time for this session. So also, I'm very happy that I had an opportunity after changing 3 times the time of this meetup. I could join, and I'm ready already. I'm ready to deliver my speech about 10 DAX formulas. So, with your permission, I would like to share my screen, and I would like to get started. So, today's meetup session is called like Unlocking the Power of DAX, 10 essential formula that you can find in your, daily working. So, a little bit about the topic. So in this workshop, in this meetup, I will delve into practical applications of DAX in Power BI, and I will try to provide you with tips and techniques. So my name is Ilgar Zarbaliyev. I'm Microsoft MVP, Power BI MVP, and also I'm Microsoft Certified Trainer Regional Lead for Central and Eastern European countries. Also, I would like to give a little bit info about our next speakers, who are Izmir Sadıkov in Azerbaijan and also Tros Limani, also in Azerbaijan. Izmir is going to talk about Azure fundamentals, and also Tros Limani will be talking about SQL. A little bit about Meetup rules. As soon as Meetup ends, I will be sending all the necessary info that I'm going to demonstrate in this Meetup. This Meetup is recording and is subject to sharing. And also, you can type your question in YouTube chat, text box, and you can deliver your, questions. A little bit about our session schedule. Actually, myself, I'm just making the introduction section, which is roughly taking 4 or 5 minutes, and then 40 minutes roughly. I will be demonstrating the DAX formulas, and 10 or 15 minutes will be for a Q&A session. Overall, the planned time for this meetup is 45 or 60 minutes. I kindly ask you stay connected. If you desire to be a speaker in my meetup group, by the way, I'm managing Green Data Innovators and Orlando Power BI User Meetup Group. So you can contact me via this email address, zarbali@excelworld.org, and we'll make it happen. Okay. So here I'm just say I stopped sharing my Power BI PowerPoint file. I hope and strongly believe that you are seeing my Power BI file. Okay. So I would like to give a little bit. I would like to give a little bit info about, my Power BI file. It's all about just retail transactions where clothes are sold by a small company. So here I have some dimensional and also transactional tables. My dimensional tables are the customers, the products, the stores, and also I have three transactional tables, so-called F expenses, F purchasing, and also F sales, right? And manually, I mean, using Power Query, I have built calendar. Okay, I'm calling it like campus method. So this is my dynamic calendar based on the values that can be found in my F sales transaction table, right? Okay, also I have my measures, a little bit about my measures. It's just simple, very simple model. Here I have my average receipt amount, color KPI, marginal profit, marginal ratio, sales net profit, total sales F, purchasing and expenses, so on and so forth. That's all my ratios, measures. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate 10 most frequently used DAX formulas. So just let's begin with the simplest one. Okay, actually, sometimes we need to make the copy of our table. For example, here we have D products table, and we can simply make the copy of this product. Just coming here, say new table, and we can say just D products copy D products copy equals D products and enter. Thus, we'll get the copy of our table. Here, if we can come here and we can see that all the columns and with 340 rows will be placed in this the products copy newly created, built table. Here also, if we pay attention, we see 340 rows and all the same columns, right? Actually, it's copying process, but however, here also DAX is working. So thanking DAX, this table is copied, right? So, but if we would like to see only one brand's products, for example, Puma products, so we have to filter it. For filtering purpose, we can use just filter function. Once again, let's say a new table, and we say filter table, right? Equals, and here, just simply, we say filter, right? This is our function. And for table, we show the products. We show the products. This is my table. And for filter expression, I'm saying brand, right? Equals between double quotes, Puma, right? And closing parentheses, enter. Okay, new table, so-called filter table has been created. Coming back to table view, and we see just filter table, right? Actually, here we have a mistake. Instead of minus, we should say equals, and I hope it will work. Yes, in brand column, we see only Puma once. So using a filter function, we can filter all our, values in a specific table, right? And one of the greatest sides of DAX formulas is that to get one result outcome, you can use several DAX functions, right? So you have this opportunity. And this one is really very good, and it helps you in some cases. So, for example, we have used here filter function. Instead of filter function, we have an opportunity to use other functions to get these results. For example, one of these. For example, we can use calculate table function to get the same result. Once again, I'm coming to new table, and I'm saying this time calculate table, copy, or calculate table equals, and just simply I'm typing I type calculate table, and for table I'm going to use my D products table, comma, and for filtering I mean, I can say the products, or just simply brand, the products brand equals between double quotes Puma, right? And closing parentheses, enter. So this is another way to get the table with one filter, right? So if coming back to table view, and let's collapse it and calculate table, here we'll see the same result that we got a few minutes earlier, right? And to pay attention, just here, if you pay attention here, actually we have not used any filter, but a filter function actually can be applied here and can be used. Actually, we'll get a little bit long formula, but for demonstration purpose, I'm going to use this filter function also here. So we can say filter, our table is the products. Let me add the products, right? Comma, and my the products brand equals to Puma. Closing parentheses once again and enter. It will give me the same result, right? Okay. One of the next DAX question, I mean not question, just DAX formula function is selected columns, right? So also maybe it's a little bit later, just for new. I mean, some people have joined a little bit now. The last minute joiners also, I would like to give a little bit info about the formulas that I'm going to demonstrate in today's session. Just now, I'm going to open my Power BI file, and I will be back a little bit later. Now, as it's going to be open. Now I would like to come once again to my study file and go on with my next DAX function. My next DAX function is select columns. Select columns function supports me or helps me to get extract the specific selected columns in one table. So let's demonstrate. Let's apply this function. I'm saying new table, and I'm going to call my new table as selected columns table and equals. Here I'm saying selected columns, and for table I say the products, right? The products, this is my table, and also I have to define my name. For example, I would like to get the list of my brands from the products table, right? So here, between double quotes, I say just brand. This is my column name. And for expression, I say the products brand. Here, I can also add my category. I'm saying between double quotes, category, and also I'm adding my column values from the products table. So category, the products product category, and closing parentheses, enter. Okay, so just this is my newly built table. Coming back to table view, let's collapse it. And I will say that this is my newly created, table. If you pay attention, Nike as a brand and category outwear has been repeated for several times. If you pay attention to total number of the rows in this table, this is 340 rows. Wherever this brand in this table has been, just repeated, this selected columns function takes all the values from this, so-called the products table. So this is the reason that we see one name for several times. Okay. Also, what I would like to tell you is that in this case also we can, while we are using selected column functions, we have an opportunity to use also, say, to use filter function with these selected columns, right? So let's apply it after opening parentheses. Of course, set columns function, opening parentheses, and I say filter. And as a table, I'm going with this one, the products, right? I say, for example, the products. This is my table. And here I would like to use my Puma products, right? So I say brand, the products brand equals between double quotes, Puma. And also here, I'm going to close this filter function, say comma. And then once again, let me just delete all of them. So for filter function, I have written everything. I have made the necessary inputs. And here, between double quotes, I say brand, right? Then I'm going with my brand, the products brand, comma. So also, I'm entering my category value, text, and say category, right? And closing parentheses, enter. So this also will give me the result, the table where only Puma, values will be just displayed, right? So now I'm coming back to my DAX formula solved Power BI file. Sorry. And once again, I'm just drawing your information. Attention to the fact that in today's meetup, I'm just going to talk about filter, calculate table, select columns. Actually, I have talked about these three functions, and in next minutes, I will be talking about values, distinct, add columns, cross join, all, summarize, and also summarize columns, right? A brief info regarding filter function. Filter returns a table that represents a subset of another table or expression. Calculate table modifies a table expression by applying one or more filters. And selected columns returns a table with selected columns from another table or expression. Okay, now I'm going to talk about values and distinct functions. Values and distinct DAX functions are the same functions, but there are some minor, differences. One of them is values function, DAX function gives us the unique values with null, blank values also, but distinct is a little bit different. So now I'm going to demonstrate also this one here. So let me go back to our Power BI file. Okay. New table. Values table equals values. And here I'm going to use category. The products category, closing parentheses and enter. This is a values newly created values table function. Let's go to table view and we see our product category that we have got using values function, right? The same result can be also achieved by using just a distinct function. Okay. Now in next minutes, we'll see the difference between these values and distinct functions, right? So the next function is add columns. Here, I'm just going to use add columns with values and distinct, and we'll understand the difference between values and also distinct. Add columns helps us to add columns function adds calculate columns to an existing table or expression without changing the original table, right? So let me come back to our next file, study file. Here, I'm just going to add, say, add columns. Shift Enter. Comma, and say sales. And I'm going to add my total sales value, and closing parentheses, enter. And using add columns and distinct function, or we can change it to now values, enter, and this one. Using add columns and values function, we got a two-column table like product category and sales. Here we have our categories and we have our sales, right? And also we used here our measure, so-called total sales F measure. And sometimes instead of this measure, users use the other function. For example, like if we come back here, key measures, here we have this measure, total sales F, right? So this is the formula that calculates total sales F. If we copy this formula and coming back to our newly created, say, a table, and if we change this one, Control V and say enter, and coming back to table view, and thus let me select my values table, and we see there is no row context applied. So sometimes while using add columns function, it's better here to use our say before written measure. In our case, it's total sales F and enter. Okay, thus it works perfectly, right? But if we desire to use the before, this formula, and if we would like to go on with this formula, so in this case, it would be better to add here also calculate, which will help to implement the row context definition. So one more closing parenthesis and enter, and we can see that the formula returns us the correct, say, results, which we got a few minutes earlier using, say, total sales F measure, right? Okay. So till now, we have covered these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 functions, right? And next one is cross join. But cross join helps us to generate the all possible combinations. So let's understand it. Here we have our new table. Say cross join equals. For example, we would like to get our sales for each store in each month. So to get this kind of table, we can say that cross join. So here I'm just going to use values function, values, and I will be using my these stores, say store name, closing parentheses, enter, and also I will be using my values for calendar month, closing parentheses, and enter. This is my cross join table. Coming back to table view, just pay attention here. For example, for January 16, we have all the stores selected. For example, Baku Maiden Tower, Baku Ateshka, Yanagach, so on, so forth. And this table covers all the months for the available time period. Sorry, with all the store names, right? So this is good. Okay, but here also what can we can add also say our sales for each store for each month. We have this opportunity, so let's do it. And for this purpose, actually, I'm in wrong table. This is my table, cross join, this one. So here, what I can do, I can use add columns function, say add columns, opening parentheses, shift enter. So comma, I can say sales and total sales if, closing parentheses and enter. Okay, so this is a newly built table using cross-join and add columns. While we are using cross-join for transactional tables, we should be very clear because cross-join will generate all the possible combination in Cartesian way, and it can be resulted with not desired output. So this is not good that we should follow. So we have to be very careful while we are using cross-join DAX function. So the next step is just to build a dynamic sales plan. And actually, just using cross-join and also add columns, we can do it. For example, here, let's change the store names. For example, we can change it or we can keep it, no issue. But instead of the current sales, what can we do? We can add, for example, sales for previous year. So here I'm saying sales for last year, sales last year. And instead of this one, I'm going to add calculate total sales. This is my expression, comma, and I'm saying same period last year and calendar date. So thus we'll see that this sales for the, for example, 2016 year disappeared. It's very normal because this is the first year of our this is the first year so, and my values are going to be appeared from the second year, from 2017 year. So thus I got my sales values for the previous years. So if I would like to build my dynamic sales plan, so in this case, what should I do? For example, here I can say that my budget for next year is going to be, let me change this one, budget plus 20%. And here I'm going to increase it multiplying by 20%. So in this case, I'm saying that 1.2 times by this result. And thus I will get, so let me change it. I'm going to change it, budget plus 20% and enter. Thus it will be my, dynamic, sales plan for next year's, right? Actually, here we can display these results in our visual. So to do it, I'm coming to my canvas and I'm selecting this one. And say budget, and I'm bringing this one to here. Actually, this is not a good way of displaying our results. The reason is that here, if you pay attention, there is no relationship with this one. So here we have to build two relationship. among these tables. So first of all, I'm going to make relationship between these stores and this one. So say, let me increase the size, and I'm going to make this relationship, and I think it should work. Yes, save. But as you pay attention, it doesn't work. So in this case, we can see the difference between values and say distinct. Coming back to our table view and say, let's use instead of values, distinct. Let me change it, distinct, and say enter. Let's try now. Let's build a relationship between these ones. And I hope now it will work. Yes, it works. So this is the other difference between distinct and also values DAX functions. So the next step is building a relationship between the calendar and this newly created table. So to do it, we can use this one. For example, date to month. And it will also most probably will not work. So, but to be sure that we are doing correctly, I mean, we are doing the correct relationship, what should we do? We can add here, say, the minimum date. So let me demonstrate it. So here we have, say, months. What can we do? We can say that, comma, between double quotes, date for, so let me, date for link, and actually, so this is, yeah, here, it will be from here, let's say, yes, date for link, and I say, calculate minimum calendar date. I hope it will work. Yes, enter. Yes, here we have the unique, just pay attention, the minimum date for each row. For example, for January, the minimum date is 1st of January, and for February is 1st of February. Then we can go to model view, and here we can say, make a relationship between these tables. Okay. Now, coming back to Canvas, you see the view of, say, visual has been already changed. So thus, using cross-join and add columns, we can build dynamic sales plan, and we can display it in our visuals, which is very useful. So our next function is going to be related to all. So actually, let me go back here. All function say just removes filters from a specified column or table to return all rows, or use to ignore context filters. But also using all function, we can get the list of values from tables, unique values from tables. So let me demonstrate it also. And thus I will conclude today's session. Coming back here, new table, and say all tables equals all. And here I'm just going to apply my all function for, say, these stores, right? And close parentheses, enter. Thus, I built a new, say, table. So let me go back here and say all. And if you pay attention, here I got the list of stores, right? So if I'm interested in, say, only one column of these stores table, so I can do it just coming here and say, for example, store name, right? Closing parentheses and enter. Thus, I will get the list of unique values of these stores, right? So also using other questions, not questions, just functions like cross join and add columns, I can add the other say values here. For example, these are my stores. I can add my sales. So just to do it, I can simply say add columns and then comma sales, and here it will be total sales, closing parentheses, enter. Thus, we'll get the results. So in this meetup, I covered 8 DAX functions, and thus I'm completing this session. All the necessary, say, files will be shared with you through Meetup group. So thank you for your time. Thank you for joining. I hope you will find it useful for your further, I mean, for further jobs or projects. So thank you. Stay tuned. And if you are not member of Meetup group, please be so kind as to join. Thank you very much. Bağışlayın.